to all the participants to the International Workshop on Designing Digitally Robust Research Libraries for the 21st Century. We are now going to start with the third technical session on the topic Architecting Future-Proof Technologies for Libraries for the 21st Century by Dr. M.G. Sreekumar, who is the Director, Geo Institute Libraries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Tushar. So friends, we have heard right from our inaugural session, the kind of things, the kind of trends and the kind of sweeping changes that is happening in the field, and the dire need and the imperatives that we as librarians have to bear in mind while we are offering, library services, and the practices that we do in our libraries for meeting the requirements of our own parent organization as well as for the benefit of our users. And the success and failure of each of us, each of our libraries, depends solely on the quality of our resources and our services. So without much introduction, let me start my presentation, that is Architecting Future-Proof Technologies for Libraries for the 21st Century. So the Geo Institute Digital Library, otherwise we fondly call it as Geo Digital Library, is envisioned as a world-class, digitally robust research library, a knowledge resource center, a center that enables teaching, learning, a research support center, as well as a center for innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurial opportunity. It is a hybrid model of digital library and a physical library that is envisaged. You have heard from our Honorable Vice Chancellor about the ambitious plans and objectives or vision of our founding chairman as well as chairperson to reach out to the remotest user in the country. So it's a very overarching ambition, objective, but let us see how best we will be able to bring it in the years to come. So the Geo Digital Library will play an important role in knowledge creation, knowledge dissemination, and knowledge certification in the context of the academic institution. And we will be running a number of workshops, tutorials, and hands-on sessions to our students, faculty, and our researchers throughout the entire journey of their, research life cycle. As you already heard, the library is being set up under the tutelage and the guidance of Dr. Michael Keller of Stanford University, also supported by Tom Kramer, whom you have heard just now. So let me bring to you the agenda of the day. I will try to tell the new normal, the world library scenario, the strategies for libraries, a recap of the library systems and processes, changing landscape of learning, the Geo Institute Digital Library, guiding philosophy, technology architecture, information discovery models and tools, the JDL focus areas, the multifaceted focus areas that we are focusing on, the research, the dire need for research support for libraries, teaching and learning supports, and libraries center for innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. To be very frank, my job has been made very simple today by my previous speakers, so I will not be spending so much time on each of these slides. But these slides can be useful for you to remember. It will have an inculcative effect. That's all I just wanted to. Some of the things which we are already doing, I'm just trying to recap for you, for your benefit. Some of the things which has already been told by my previous speakers, I will be just telling you, which will have an inculcative effect. So friends, I would like to start with Einstein. When he says that I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. That is exactly what libraries can emulate. Libraries can provide excellent opportunities for learning rather than teaching per se. So here you can see the library is actually providing all sorts of gadgets and ambience with the infrastructure, so that the user, the average user, is able to walk in. He doesn't have to have a printed book. He can have just his gadget, and he will be able to access enormous amounts of information from a variety of publication formats and content types. So it is only limited to what we want to, or we plan to, streamline to, or channel to the user. And as you can see, libraries of the day, almost all your libraries are a perfect blend of physical and the digital library. As you can see, whenever we think of a library, the metaphor of the library conjures up the traditional, huge library interior, what is called the massive, spacious library interior, decked up with, dozens or hundreds of, shelves and fully packed with the books, etc., which is the foyer, starting from the foyer to the various stacking areas. But now you can see the digital zeros and one is actually now cutting through the entire library space, so that they will be able to make the best use of, enjoy the services and the resources that is provided by the library. But then the library interior is also changing with the trends. This actually is a set of snapshots I have taken from the IIM Ahmedabad library, which was recently renovated with the help of Dr. Anil Kumar. Unfortunately, we missed him, but he was actually a visionary librarian who was able to see the big picture, and he got a very good funding grant from TCS, and then about 20 crores, not a small thing. And he made the library most modern, a 21st century library. So I would like to show you some of the pics which encourages the average user to be more, prompted for learning and for doing research. And also this is actually from foreign university library. This is from if I remember correct, I have taken it from Hong Kong University Library. So these are collaboration zones provided by the libraries for the benefit of the users to come, explore themselves, unleash themselves, and create and co-create knowledge. And you can see the libraries. This is from Princeton Public Library. Libraries are now providing, maybe may not be inside the library, but along with the library, a cafe, so that people have the comfort of, whatever, beverages, what they would like to have. So we are now, in the, as Dr. Mamta Rani was mentioning, in the Industry 4.0, we are, providing education. We have passed from the Industry 1.0, where the source of power was actually mainly steam-based, and then went to electricity, and then went to electronics and IT-based systems of automation, etc. Now we are in the cyber age. So we are talking about, we have been hearing from beginning about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, etc., into the realm of day-to-day life, Internet of Things, etc. So what you can see here in a small window here is actually a snapshot taken from a Toyota car manufacturing place, where a number of robots are in the process of, designing a car, manufacturing a car. But interestingly, all these are backed up by, behind all these robots and these artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, Internet of Things, hundreds and thousands of minds, brains, human brains are working. So that is exactly what is the power of human brains with artificial intelligence, human intelligence in line with, in sync with artificial intelligence. So actually now the demand of the time is actually career 4.0. Now the question is, as libraries and librarians, as educational institutions, to what extent we are equipped ourselves, and also we are able to equip our passing out our products to meet the challenges of Industry 4.0. This is a big question. I think it will keep coming. Now, looking at the tech trends, which was recently shared by IEEE and STM, you see very interestingly, the average user is actually very restless. They don't have the previously possessed attributes like patience. They are impatient. They are very restless. They want the results. And they are very possessive. They say that, let me do it my way. Treat me as a digital native. Show me I can trust you. So you have to be able to make relevance. You have to give them contextually relevant, what is called responses, and you have to make them impressed. You have to prove the research integrity so that I can be, coming and taking your data, your services. And also, I want the control over my data, even though it is my data, or even though the data which I am going to take from you as part of the service. Once I have downloaded, you allow me to use it as my own data. So, a lot of freedom they are asking, they are demanding. And if you are not giving, they will go to another pocket, and that's a problem. There are various sources from where they can get the same data or the same service or the same resources. It is not that libraries can be monopolizing the whole domain of information. There was a time when libraries were monopolizing the domain of information. It's no longer like that. So you have to make things easy for the user. Then only user is with you. So retention of the user is one of the billion dollar questions that is actually now very much before all of us. So the world has changed. We have been listening to our learned speakers. The way knowledge is information, or knowledge or information is generated and disseminated. People discover and access content. So actually, it is all about the immediacy, relevancy, and the experience and the trust that we are able to. We will be able to make build over the users that will determine the success or failure. So transformation is actually very much essential. In my introductory speech, I was talking about the basic requisites about being digitally transformed, resilience, agility, as well as so all these things are highly important if you want to have a sustainable future. And for that, we need to rewrite ourselves, rewrite our own destiny, our own future. There is no panacea for that. Unfortunately, this is not taught in our library schools. So I don't have to underscore, I don't have to re-emphasize the impact of advanced technologies in libraries and education. And then there are kind of copyright directives and the impact and their impact on libraries. A lot of complexities. You are going to hear from the future speakers. I mean, the speakers they are going to come. They will be talking about the kind of stringent conditions under which you will be able to write copyright licenses and get it done from the publishers, and you'll have to do that because you are always at the receiving end. We have very limited opportunity for us to tell them that it's not possible. So my request to all of us, and as a matter of fact, all of our request to all of these speakers who are coming on board, please place more value on the community than everything else. Let us not be so, possessive, so obsessed with our earlier understanding that our resources, our budget, all these things, they are all important. They are all important, but the community should be at the center stage. We are more worried about the rules than the responsibilities or the duties that we owe to our community. So I am trying to say that our community should be given more value. You may have to raise the old tenets, raise the new tenets so that you will be able to push the envelope of opportunities. You have to diversify library services, explore more funding opportunities. So I am very sure our librarians are really, really powerful, productive, innovative people. If we spend time, we ponder on, what others are doing so that we can also emulate, you don't have to be, duplicating their efforts, but you can be more innovative than others so that you can bring in more valuable services. So I will say we need to add one more law to the library, laws of library science, that it is every library and it's entrepreneurial opportunity. So that is very important. Every library gets innovation opportunity. So I think the commitment to entrepreneurship and innovation is really going to give excellent rewards to all of us. So there are pessimistic approaches to this also, saying that this is the beginning of the end of libraries. I feel personally, I feel it is in fact the dawn of a new renaissance of libraries. It is coming up with excellent highly energized libraries are going to come with the help of our excellent highly brilliant librarians. They are going to come into the forefront and really lead the game. So let's just recap what Tom and as well as Dr. Mike, they were mentioning about what we have been doing in the field. So library systems are very, very complex systems, but then they are very well-defined systems. What is desirable is a hybrid model, as I was mentioning. We are in the process of, we are at the center of research, teaching, publishing, and the center for disruptive innovation. At the same time, we build up a lot of workflows and systems for collection, development, and management. And also we design a lot of interfaces and relationships for seamless access and retrieval of the data information that we are holding, whether it is in print or electronic or any other format what we have. This is our major motto. This is our major activity. So I think come what, even after 100 years, this will be our major motto. We are in the process of information storage, access, retrieval, and dissemination. So we can basically categorize our activities into two, that is the business processes and then the user experience. The business processes will form part of all these activities that we are doing. That is budget management to metadata management to collection management to content aggregation and information systems. And the user experience will center around the discovery, personalization, reuse of the our user sessions and assessment of and analytics for continuity of our subscriptions, etc. Then libraries are doing a lot of research, academic libraries, research and academic supports, and there are a number of activities that libraries are doing. I don't want to go into the depth of these things. I will leave the presentation with you so that you will be able to see all these things. And so all sorts of research as well as academic support that we can offer will be very much remembered by the user community. And by that, you will be able to make a very, very strong imprint about the library. So let me see what is actually the context of, the evolution of information discovery that is happening in the libraries. As I was mentioning, the context of information use and its creation has been changed. The physical distribution is now, almost entirely now taken over by the digital distribution. This is very interesting. The paradox is that when resources were scarce, we had our users having very long attention spans. But when the resources have become abundant, the attention span is very, very scarce. So these are very, very, very interesting things. So when resources were very scarce, attention span was large. When resources are abundant or large in numbers, the attention span has become scarce. So this is actually a very interesting thing. And if you look at the libraries workflows, that the kind of activities, the kind of services that we were doing, mostly it was centering around the certain workflows which was within the library, four walls of the library. But then when it came to the network level, things have got changed literally. So that's what. So the even within the library and the network environment, we have a lot of opportunities for our catalog data. For multiple uses and for free text searches, resource guides, reading lists, citation managers, social, reading sites, etc. And discovery, as I was mentioning, has been our major, pioneering service. Discovery, we're very good in discovering information retrieval activities. So when the services became to the network level, upgraded to the network level, or the web scale level, so the limitation of the library or the extent of the library or the reach of the library within the institution has gone to the network level and the web scale level. So that is exactly what when we say that web scale discovery services are actually nothing but a larger scale where we are able to provide our access to the services of the library at a World Wide Web accessible or a browser accessible scale, a web scale. And then you have also seen that there has been a diverse between discovery and the delivery. So discovery can be limited to your search outputs, whereas delivery can be seamlessly channeled through a variety of gadgets. It is only limited to our number of gadgets. You can be mobilizing it to various numbers. So we have also seen that information channeling functionality is embedded from websites and re-embedded in smaller, more discrete experiences like iPads or tabs or what is called mobiles, etc. So I think there was a very interesting presentation from one of the groups on the mobile applications that they were promoting or pronouncing. So I think these kinds of things are now the mobility of the information, mobility of the libraries service components is actually the hallmark of the day. That's very, very important. So attention is also shifting from metadata to full collection, to full text-based researches, etc. So that was actually highlighted by Tom so much. I don't want to spend much time on that. So if you see the portfolio of services and activities, the indicator said this is not the entire one. It is centering around collections, references, instruction, repositories, public publishing services, statistics. In addition to that, as Dr. Mike was mentioning, it is the role of the libraries now to provide, so much of knowledge creation opportunities, special collection, innovation, knowledge creation activities. So that is something which we can think of. Now, let me see what is the kind of questions that are coming up. What is the future of knowledge? What is the future of pathways to knowledge? What's the future of public technology and community anchor institutions like libraries? So where does libraries' role comes, and does libraries make any significance, relevance during the 21st century is something which I think we have to create the future for that. What is the future of learning spaces? We are all talking about learning spaces, especially libraries are now becoming learning spaces rather than learning places. So that is something which we will discuss. What is the future of attention? What is the future of scholarly communication? So these are some of the questions. And then what is the future role of academic and research libraries? So these are questions, these are billion-dollar questions I think we'll have to keep for long. So we have to keep searching for answers for these things. So as it was already mentioned, as we have already discussed, so people have a tendency to mention that we have everything in the net, everything in the web. Then why do we need a library? So I think it is our onus to mention them, to sensitize them, to maybe educate them to the extent saying that Google or the internet or the web has got its own limitations. Always published, commercially published content is available at a price only, at a cost only. So I think these are things that we have to inform. And as as responsible librarians, it is our role, it is our duty to curate information for the benefit of the user community, make such powerful, such useful services, such collections for the benefit of our users, so that they will be happy that we are able to make sense and we are able to give them pertinent information, if I can use Ranganathan's language. And then the shift in approaches. We have seen from the traditional systems, I don't want to go into the depth of these things, it was almost covered by Tom also. Then we saw the traditional systems, upgrading to automated systems, to digital library systems. So even the digital library systems are now traditional, conventional, or legacy systems, in other words. Now we are talking about information discovery, resource discovery. That too we have upgraded from or traversed from bound catalog to card catalog to opaque to syndrome to it. We are now talking about web scale discovery services. Interestingly, we are now hearing about concept-based searches, ontology-based searches, etc. So I think the whole thing is going to be always evolving. There is nothing like this is the latest and this is going to be the end of discovery services. No, I think it is going to be evolving from time to time. So we have to wait and see, but we have to always select, choose, migrate to the best possible, best suitable. Most suitable service and the technologies. And in another way, we can see that the library systems have been influenced by the internet and the kind of databases and the kind of discovery services over the period. So very, very interesting. Libraries are becoming actually very welcoming and inspiring ambience, and we need to redefine the role of the library. Keeping all these previous things in mind, we need to provide seamless access to knowledge. We need to provide collaborative learning spaces so that people can come freely and then take part in the construction, co-creation of knowledge. Libraries become learning hubs and learning gardens. It is a place for idea exchange. We provide a vast corpus of knowledge through high-end collections of services, and our supports for open access and open science and open data, open technologies should be continuing, ever continuing. And then we have to develop such a skills, what is called as digital scholarship skills, research support skills, etc., research data support, etc. So these things have already been told, by Thomas. So what I'm just telling, see, the library's imperatives for agility and resilience, that is the most important thing that we have to keep in mind. So the strategies, if you ask me for a 21st century library, will be that libraries are becoming vibrant hubs for diverse purposes. It is not just for consumption of information, which is the traditional format and belief structure that we always have. Dr. Palakseth was highlighting and underscoring that. We need to come out of that, and we have to give diverse purposes while retaining the flexibility for future needs. And we need to steer discussions about open access journals and courseware, open courseware. We have seen that the open courseware are being endorsed and embraced by the whole world. And those who are not even able to attend such courses, such places, people are able to attend such courses, gain knowledge, and also get certifications. That is not a small thing. So leveraging the special collections to carve out niches for institutions. For example, Dr. Mike was mentioning about the role of special collections, the value that we can add to the libraries, to the institutions where we are attached to by working on special collections is something very important. So our jobs have become varied and diverse. We have to adapt to automation and learn new technologies, legal aspects, interpersonal skills. See, learning the legal aspects is very, very important, because we may be at some point out of our enthusiasm be doing a lot of activities which can be illegal or which can be breaching of what is called the copyright IPR rules. So we have to be very, very careful about that. Now, coming to the Geo-Digital Library, of course, there are going to be a couple of more presentations on this. So I will just give a high-level presentation only, high-level overview only on this. This is envisaged to provide access to quality education research resources to the remotest users. As I was mentioning, this is actually the ambitious objective of the founding chairman as well as the chairperson. So the 4 pillars of the library include the teaching and learning aspect, the research center, the entrepreneurial efforts, and as well as innovation and promoting innovation and creativity. I have told you, India is a very large educational domain. We have more than 55,000 colleges. We have more than 1.5 million teachers, and we have more than 20 million students. But most of our colleges, almost 70 plus percentage of our colleges are facing unprecedented funding resource issues. So accessibility to quality information and affordability for what is called quality research journals and academic resources are actually always a question. So at this moment, the objective is to help almost all the colleges and the students and teachers. Let us see how best we will be able to. These are in the discussion level only. So we have association and partnership with Stanford libraries, and we are also working with other Indian institutions and some of the interesting research centers and institutions. We are partnering like NDLI, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Library, consortiums, etc. Also, we are subscribing to some of the most useful resources, etc. So that is something which, coming to the mission of the library, it is advancing knowledge through research and innovation, support lifelong learning, and inspiring community. So it seeks to leverage the dynamics of its vast corpus of knowledge that spans the print as well as e-resources, databases, data sets, coupled with its state-of-the-art information services to drive innovation among its faculty, students, and researchers. So that is actually the overarching, mission. Then coming to the guiding philosophy, I don't think we need to be more explanatory on this, because the strategic choice of the greenfield, being a greenfield institution, and the seamless digital experience, since we are starting from, it's a digital first university and a digital first library, and the kind of future-proof technologies and the ambition that we will play a pioneering role in this field, and the kind of global collaborations and the Indian partnerships that we are making, and also partnering with the leading frameworks such as IIIF, which Tom was mentioning, and the kind of infrastructure and best-in-class digital facilities, the alternate learning spaces that will be inspiring, encouraging, and promoting, being a catalyst for innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurial opportunities. A multidisciplinary team will be working with us, and a high-caliber team. Not only library professionals, but also professionals from various disciplines, maybe from artificial intelligence as well as from digital media, from public health services, sports management, etc., will also be joining us as time pass by. Some of the features of our technology, we are using the best of breed technology, open source, a combination, a blend of open source as well as commercial, which are scalable, extensible, flexible, and we are collaborating with such platforms and such frameworks. They are simple yet effective discovery of content they are providing. We are also exploring exhibits. We are working on 3 special collections, which I will tell you. And then the underlying concept is of ease of access and seamless access and long-term preservation. We will always be trying to evolve with the time, because that's what every technology we should be adopting. We should not be just resting with only one technology or a set of technologies. We should always explore the possibilities of trying with the new technologies, which has got new features. So we will have robust collections. We will have seamless access, best-in-class services. We will have skilled and motivated staff and leadership powered by future-proof technologies. we will have highly inspiring library spaces, and this library spaces as a service, that is very important. And then the JDL focus areas, I was telling you, we have 10 focus areas. I will come to that in detail. And we will be trying to be a leader in research and inspire innovation in the field of education. We will be trying our best to build communities. Building communities is very, very important. Now, coming to the platform architecture, this anyway is going to be dealt in detail by Savitra Sirohi, Mr. Savitra Sirohi, who is our technology consultant. So I don't want to spend so much time on that. But here for the ILMS platform, that is Integrated Library Management Platform, which is also now migrating or upgrading to what is called library service platforms with a lot of innovative services added on to that, because the integrated library management systems were not actually looking at the e-resources part of it and its paraphernalia, whereas in the library service platform, LSPs it is otherwise called, we are looking at the e-resources also embedded into that. So I think Folio is what we have selected as our library management platform. We have the digital library services and archives, the software for as Haiku, which is again, both the Folio and the Haiku are open source platforms. For a library website, we are using Drupal open source, and then for content curation, we are using LibGuides, which is a very, very, I would say it's a commercial platform, but it is not highly priced. It's reasonably priced only if you go for such modules. And then we have discovery system, EBSCO discovery service, and we also have laid Blacklight and Bendo Box, quick search for Bendo Box service facility. I will come to that. And then we have special collections. So this is actually the kind of technology architecture, and the special collections is taken care of by Spotlight, which is again both the Blacklight and Spotlight are open source softwares. Then we have, let us see how things are working. So the JDL, if you look at the collections, basically one set of collection is our content and resources coming from commercial and also from open access, and which will be spanning, which will be available in print and electronic. Print will be very representative, maybe 10% or less than that. More than 90% of our collection will be electronic. And then we have the special collections projects that we are working on. Currently, we are working on 3 special collection projects. This is not 100 years of Mumbai now, it is actually history of Mumbai, because now we find that it is more than 100 years we are going to look at. So maybe 200, 300 years we will be looking at. So history of Mumbai, and then Indian arts, architecture, culture, heritage, and history. And the third is we are developing a very massive, archive on COVID-19, which will look into almost all the aspects of COVID-19 from the public point of view, common citizens' point of view, as well as researchers' point of view, as well as medical practitioners' point of view, etc. So it's very so Folio will take care of the legacy part of it, the traditional print part of it, along with the e-resources and all. And then Haiku will be working on the, taking care of the repository part of it. And the metadata will be exported to EBSCO, EBSCO discovery system, which will be, supplemented by subject guides. And with the help of a single sign-on platform, which is a remote access solution, we will be able to provide a very rich experience to the users with the help of a Blacklight solar index-based, custom what is called a discovery service with the quick search Bendo Box services. So there, the user will have a very rich experience. So I think most of these platforms, most of these services are not very much common in India. So we are also very interestingly looking at, very keenly looking at how to make the best use of these systems for the benefit of our library first, and then we will try and extend the services, the knowledge what we gain to the larger, library systems in India. So thereby, we will be able to meet one of the objectives of our founding chairpersons, the chairman and chairperson. So then the special collections, we are using Haiku, as I was mentioning, the repository. Then Spotlight is the software. We are using Blacklight support also for indexing, and then we have IIIF format for exchanging as well as for interoperability facilities, and also for quality, what is called metadata description on this. And then we have the interface for the benefit of the user. So this is actually the kind of user experience that I would like to mention to you. We have developing our collection. We have upcoming collection which is going to be very good in terms of books and ebooks. We have more than 4 lakhs plus. We have 18,000 plus e-journals plus print journals. We have so many case studies, industry reports, company profiles, the newspapers, etc. So I think it is a growing collection, and the collection is envisaged to be even more, maybe doubling over every 5 years or so. Let us see how best we can. So the idea is that we provide a very high, very rich user experience by centralizing the discovery services. Maybe all these are coming from different, containers. From different containers, maybe the content types, the subscribed resources, what is called the physical collection, open access resources, and then so any kind of content that special collections. So any kind of content that we can think of will be channelized to a central pipe with the help of a single what is called a global search box. The user will be able to get the best user experience, and that is the objective. And so that's what I was mentioning, that efficient and effective but simple discovery of content. So users are able to search throughout the entire kind of a Google kind of a search box, which is called searchworks.geoinstitute.edu.in, and then it will return granular results from a wide array of range of publishers and content types. We can have multiple search tools available. For example, for a quick find, you can use quickfind.geoinstitute.edu. For browsing, you can browsing these search collections or the exhibits, exhibit.geoinstitute. For finding the content from the repository, repository.geoinstitute. For finding the publications, publication finder we can use. So this is actually a snapshot of bento box. Anyway, I think my Tom also was showing you this. So the idea is that from different content types, the same screen is divided into 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of small windows, bento boxes, so that based on the context of the user, different content types, from catalog, from articles, from guides, from a library website, from exhibits, from which is the concept based. So this is yet to be configured. So this is in the concept level only. So I think this is going to be a very interesting user experience that we can provide. So this is the website of the GeoInstitute Digital Library. This we have already. We are planning to have a session from Sartra Sirohi, so he will be giving you a live demo of all these things. So in short, it's about all these things which we have already mentioned. And then we have the special collections I was mentioning, Indian Arts Architecture, Stanford exhibits. There are a lot of exhibits that Stanford Library is sharing with us, so we have that also. You can visit our participants. We are requesting you to visit exhibits.geoinstitute.edu.in, library.geoinstitute.edu.in. So you will be able to see all these things by yourselves. So 4 collections are now we have. The Mumbai collection is in the making only. The COVID archive is also now getting prototyped, and it will be soon released. for the benefit of the users. So this is actually a snapshot of the Indian Arts Architecture collection. The Spotlight software, the details, Sartra Sirogi will be mentioning, but I will say it allows libraries to create exhibits using. So Spotlight is a very good software. I think you can download that software. And then you can start working on that, and you can see, you can compare with the other exhibit software which are freely available or which are open source available. You can see, and if there is any issues that you are encountering, we can be of help. We are also learning only, so but we will try our best. And then we have all sorts of content workflow management using Spotlight. You can zoom and pan the entire collection, and this is actually provided by the IIIF viewer, which is embedded in the software. And then you can see the search facility is actually very good. I will not say the best, but there are, I mean, it is actually something which is compared to the rest, we found this really good. And then the IIIF is an example how we created using, the IIIF is actually a way to standardize the delivery of images in an interoperable way. For example, we have now created a good set of collections from Stanford without actually getting the collections exactly from Stanford. Just with the help of IIIF, we have been able to configure the collection at our website, so our exhibit. So that's very, very interesting. Now coming to the focus areas. So the key highlights of the library I have already mentioned. In order to realize our vision, so our collections I have already introduced to you. It is actually a very vast collection we can think of. The information access also we have already mentioned. We have the best of the collections that we can think of. But and then the information access and discovery services I have already highlighted. The spaces is something that I would like to. So the library will provide a facility for not only for consuming knowledge, but also for construction and co-creation of knowledge, for creativity, for exploration, for discovery, for invention, and it will be technologically supported in every aspect. So it will offer a lot of spaces for student-faculty collaboration, group work, for individual and also for individual studies, etc. So the next item what we will provide will be the teaching and learning environment. So the teaching and learning environment will be I'll come to research enablement. So the teaching and learning enablement library will provide a lot of instruction sessions as well as a lot of workshops and tutorials for the benefit of that. And research enablement, we will offer a lot of research assistance to our students, faculty and researchers, by offering a lot of tutorials and orientation sessions and workshops throughout the entire life cycle of research that we can think of. And then research data management also we will provide, as it was also highlighted by Stanford. They have started working on that research data management as a division. But we will also right from beginning start helping our users in curating the research data generated by the researchers and the faculty and students, and we will impart a lot of orientation sessions and tutorials, workshops that will and also maintain the repositories for long-term preservation of this. One of the most interesting units that we will have, a focus area will be the digitization part. So we'll have a state-of-the-art media center for user community, content creation, which will encompass almost all formats of media, including 3D objects we will plan. The center will offer digitization facility for all materials, including 3D materials, of course, without breaching any of the copyright rules, and to get it visualized using fixed mobile technology. So whatever we can think of experimentations, we will do that. The library special collections projects will be supported by the digitization unit. And then we were hearing about the maker spaces. So this division will also provide the support for the maker spaces, for innovation exploration and product prototyping, etc. 3D printing, etc. So we will also provide in the digitization session. We will also provide design thinking workshops. We can think of. So the Digital Scholarship Center will envisage well-equipped labs for artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, robotics, virtual reality, data visualization, etc. The center will facilitate scholarly activities that has extensive use of digital technologies and tools such as statistical analysis, data visualization, and digitization, etc. So I think this is a very overarching, ambitious unit. And then the entrepreneurship cell will work with the stakeholders to promote innovation, creativity, and opportunity, and market exploitation opportunities also. The most interesting thing will be the library support for self-service. So we want all our users to be self-reliant in their own, way, how to learn themselves and how to use all the gadgets and the services in the library by themselves. So we will equip them. We will give them user orientations, and we will equip them to operate all those gadgets and services, including AR, VR applications, etc., mobile applications, etc. So this is the overall focus areas that we are planning. And I don't want to spend much time. So the research part of it, I have already told. The AR research framework defines actually the kind of research support that libraries can provide. Almost all the facets are there. So regarding open access, I think there will be sessions on that. So, but the GeoDigit Library will be providing 100% open access promotions. We will be an evangelist for the institute, for the country, and for the world. There is no doubt about that. That too for the the green as well as what is called the golden approaches to open access. And then in the context of research support, I mean data. Research support throughout the entire life cycle of research we will be supporting. I have already told that. And then for open science, throughout the entire life cycle of open science, for the benefit of our user community, whether they are students, faculty, or researchers, we will be there for support. You can say that, you can see here that throughout the entire life cycle of research, I think there is an open platform available, an open tool that is available for supporting our users, our researchers. I think that we will do. And then the curriculum support, etc., I have already underlined. So we will make the best use of our technology and our library platforms for channeling the best academic resources to the user community. So all sorts of content types, etc., we are mentioning. Some of the interesting things that we will work in the library will be that we will be working in close collaboration with the various research centers and labs in the institution for the benefit of for promoting entrepreneurship and innovation, etc. So we can think of research, innovation, entrepreneurship promotion from the Geo Institute, working in collaboration with the various cells in the within the system and outside the system, and maybe at a national level or at an international level, so that this becomes actually a business incubator and a center for social and technology innovation. So that will be very useful. So friends, now coming to the innovation part, so that the life cycle of the process of library services will be complete. We have to think of all these kinds of new services which can provide 100%, a 360-degree user experience to our user community. And then if you look at the channels of robust library systems and services that we have been deploying in this, we will see that we have to have seamless aggregation and integration of our digital objects as well as our content types. supplemented with the metadata and indexes and search algorithms. And then we have information, knowledge guides, navigation interfaces, and discovery tools and services with a variety of platforms and services that we can think of, to library management systems, to OPACs, to ERMS, to digital libraries, to repositories, to discovery systems, or even to concept-based newer systems supported by highly enabled cutting-edge library systems and software solutions, which are typically gadget neutral, platform neutral, and format compatible and interoperable. So with that, let me conclude. Thank you so much for your patient listening.